Okay, good morning. So for our fourth exercise, exercise number 4 for FRM 149, choose spatial methods in forestry. We will be doing raster manipulation exercise. So allow me to share my screen. And let us go into our LMS. So in your LMS, check for the week 8, April 25 to 29. Here we will have working with raster data. A short introduction, raster data though is quite different from vector data. No? This was explained earlier in our previous discussion regarding the difference of a vector data and a raster data. When we say vector data, these are models that portray points, lines, or polygons. And these features have discrete uh, appearance constructed out of vertices and connected with lines and or areas. If you're going to zoom in on a vector data through QGIS, you will find that the feature is still crisp, no? Medyo straight pa yapon siya and it's not pixelated. Raster data, however, is like any image, though it may portray various properties of objects in the real world. These objects don't exist as separate objects, but they are represented using pixels. So mga squares na siya. And these pixels of various different colors have different number codes, different values. For this exercise, we will use raster data to supplement our current knowledge of GIS analysis. And for this lesson, we will learn how to work with raster data in a free or open source QGIS environment. So datasets can be accessed using the following link. This has been updated already now. So simply click the link and it will open a new window and you download the data folder. So just right click and then download. Then save into a designated directory. So in my case, I don't need to download this file anymore since it's already stored in my system, in my laptop. So I store this one now in exercise number 4. So after downloading, make sure that you extract all the files because the files you have downloaded are all compressed. No? Meaning to say they are archived and need to be decompressed. They are all zip files. Okay, once extracted, check your folders on the data folder. Make sure you have these 3 folders. Barangay boundary, this is for Butuan City. The Mindanao shapefile, and the raster file of the SRTM BXU or Butuan City. Shuttle radar topographic mission. So nasa ito ka files. These 2 are vector files, and this one is a raster file. So once all the files are in, you can now open your QGIS. So in your QGIS, you open a new project to do away with the previous projects you have done. And beforehand, you click project and then on project properties, make sure that on the CRS, you enable the on-the-fly CRS transformation. So we have to do this so that whatever differences in the CRS of our input files, they will be transformed into what we designate here, what we prefer in our project. So for this case, we enable, and then we will click siguro a WGS 84. Click apply and then okay. Then after doing the project properties, you can save our work. Save your work and mark this one as save it in your exercise 4 folder. Create an output folder, and then save it as exercise exer 4 underscore your family name. Click save. So we are ready to load our data or data sets. So first, let's load the two vector files. So add vector layer. Browse for the folder. Say 149 raster manipulation and the data. Load first the barangay PSA. So this is a shape file. Make sure na that is HP ha. You open this one and open. So this will show the different barangays of Butuan City. Next, we have to load the Mindanao shape file. Shape file, open and then open. And then transfer Mindanao. You drag this one at the bottom so that the big Q, Butuan, will be on top. And then let us load the raster layer. Now add raster layer. Ito, 149. Exercise raster manipulation data. And then shuttle radar. RTM. Check for the PIF file. So make sure this is the PIF file. So you can check this one having the largest size, file size. It's about 2000. It's about 2 MB. So check. You click that one, open, and then reload it. So this is your shuttle radar thematic mapper mission. And this is a DEM file. Again, the two, these two are all vector files. So vector siya because whenever we zoom in, you will notice that the lines are still crisp. No? Kapag siya kanang clarot siya tanawon. No matter how you zoom in, lines are still crisp, straight. While in SRPM or the raster file, if you're going to zoom in, you will notice that it becomes pixelated. So na siya mga square. So this is the difference between an image file and a vector file, raster file. So first thing we have to do is to clip the boundaries of the raster image, because what we are doing with exercise 4 is to have the elevation map of Butuan City. Elevation map. So ganing elevation, it is the vertical distance of a point on the ground from the mean sea level. So siya kahabugon gikan sa mean sea level. And we will classify this DEM into different classes and showed it as an elevation map of Butuan City. So dako mo siya ang raster file atong i-clip that is only in Butuan City. So how are we going to do this? Sometimes sometimes there are bugs in 2.9. So let us try to work with using raster clipper. In our raster, natay extraction. Ano? Raster, and then extraction, and then clipper. Let's try kung mo-work. Sometimes, dili man siya mugana. On the input file, you select is RTM BXU. So, yun siya. So, isa lang siya because it is the only raster file available. And then, for the output file, save na to siya on our output folder. Raster 4, output, and then ano to siya, clip underscore DEM. Save. So DEM siya because, saan pasabot sa DEM? DEM stands for Digital Elevation Model. So it is a model showing the different elevations of each points, no, on the map. And then you can select mask layer. And then on the mask layer na itong gamiton, you can select Barangay Butuan City. Ito siya. And crop the extent of the target database to the extent of the cut line. So enable. And keep resolution of the input raster. Okay, let's try if mugana siya. Okay. Okay, mugana siya. Processing completed. So click OK. And then we close. So sa nanaytabo. You notice here in your layers panel na siya yung gawas na clip DEM. Muna imong save kayo na and it's loaded on our QGIS. If we hide is RTM, ang mabilin is now the clip portion of the raster file. So once na-clip na siya, we can now remove this SRTM, the original file, para dili kayo siya daghan, di kayo samok sa atong pananaw. When we have a lot of files open. So you remove the layer and click OK. So what we have here is the DEM, the barangay boundary. Ito na transfer na po, dragging that DEM beneath the barangay boundary. So ipauna na ito ang barangay boundary. Okay? So nasa sa likod, di na ito makita. We can check change the symbology of our vector layer by going into the properties. And then on the simple fill, the fill ato siyang transparent. Or pwede po dili transparent. Then dito sa fill style, no brush. So whatever, pwede transparent, pwede no brush, they are the same. And then the outline, ato siya i-change into other color. Say, kini siya whitish color. Yung outline, sabot na mo yung mga lines. No? Kini siya, instead na black, gamit na white color. You can select other colors if you like, basta dili siya dili pangit tanawon, because mapping daw is an art. Dapat nindot tanawon ang muhang mapa. Okay. Then, okay na siya. Click apply. So makita niyo mo na change na siya. Medyo dagko pa ang line. For me, ako siya pagamyan. Say 0.6. Okay. So ano siya, gamay-gamay na ang mga lines. Click OK. Okay. Next thing we have to do is to make hillshade of the raster file. Yung hillshade, muna siya og 3-dimensional tanaw na mo siya, no? Yeah, pag naay sun, the sun produces a shadow on the hills and mountains, therefore portraying this two-dimensional object as a 3D. So next step we have to do we have to manipulate this DEM is to do hill shade. On the analysis, no, raster, and then analysis, natay kuan diri DEM terrain models. You click this one, and then on the input, may bagong nakuha ng dialog. On the input, you select the clip DEM. If we did not remove ganina, na siya ilain. But since we removed the SRTM, so what remains is the only DEM available. In the output file, save na to gyapon sa outputs folder. This will be hillshade. Hillshade of Butuan City. HS underscore BXU. So what na the hillshade of Butuan City. Save. And then on the mode, ito na siya down. No? There are several choices available. Kung gusto kag slope map, pwede mabuhaton nimo. Aspect, pwede po. Color relief, etc. Roughness, etc. But in this case, we will doing a hillshade. Z factor, we will leave all of this siguro constant as is by default. And then on the creation options, dili na. Load into canvas when finished. Ito na siya i-check. So that after processing, it will be added on our layers panel. So open na, and then we can click OK. Processing completed. Okay. Okay. And we close. So, nanaw na to, na siya nigawas niya hillshade. So, no siya og paano 3D. Naadri ang sun. It produces shadow on the mountains and other rugged terrains. This one is a flat area. Dili kayo siya kuan. And our DEM is at the bottom. Nasa sa likod. Likod aning hillshade. So ato siyang i-transfer na pod. Hillshade, ibalis na to sa ubos sa DEM. Hindi siya na paan. So na siya sa likod again. And then, we will do classification of our DEM. So i-classify na to ang color niya based on elevation classes. So dito na to siya on the symbology. Double click or click on the properties. Double click or properties, right click and then properties. On the style, click na to ang single band pseudo color. And then we have here a minimum 2 and maximum 781. Sabot ani, based on the elevations of clip DEM, we have a minimum value of 2 meters and 781 meters. Sometimes na siya error because this is based on ano siya, processing. So we have to load the minimum and the maximum. Click this min max and then load and see if it changes. Nag-change siya. So instead of 2, may mo siya -8. Sabot ana, napag portions in Butuan City nga that is below sea level. No, mga kinabot zero ni, mga ubos pa, no, mga ubos ng mga bahin, and then the maximum elevation is 1,192. So compared ka ganina, this is only 781, napag yung mga portions nga habog-habog di ay in Butuan City. So min-max, it's loaded already. And then there is a bottom portion na kay and classify. We can click classify. So in your color ramp, for me na ako'y color ramp ng elevation. But if in your case, wala na siya because wala pa siya ganyan na add, you can add elevation by doing this process. So here, i-click nyo muna yung down drop arrow. Then, sa baba pa yun, na kay diri butang nga, new color ramp. New color ramp, imo siyang i-click. And then, on the color ramp style, i-click mo ang CPT City. No, down drop. And then, CPT City. Click OK. Make sure na naka internet connection to, no, because this is not, it can be downloaded through the internet. So we will wait until it's loaded. So once it's loaded, this is the CPT. We will search for the topography. Topography, and then there are several schemes, palettes for topography. Natural, neutral, textbook, etc. Shiva or Shira, etc. For me, I select elevation. Select elevation. Then save as a standard region. So when you save, and then click OK. Okay, type ko mo elevation. For me, ako naman siya nakuha, but still, ako lang natin i-add siguro. Okay, so it's added already as a color ramp. Elevation. And then for our style, we'll classify. We'll siya classes galing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pwede na to siya equal interval. And then we can select 6 class or 7. Yan na lang. 8 na lang para dito bumking. Ay, pangit. Kani 9 classes. Equal interval. Then 9 classes. Dito may 10. Ay, pangit siya. Bumking. So 9 classes. Classify and then okay, click apply. Then okay. So muna may tabo sa ito yung classify ganun na. Sabutan na -8 and then the lowest portion is a -8 and highest portion is a 1192 with a dark color. So nadring a side or portion and one. Ang mga habog ng mga area. Siguro this is on the Mayapay, Mount Mayapay. Darang Mount Mayapay diri This is on the Tagibo side, going into RTR, Mount Kilong. So we have pila ka class. But in your case, pwede niyo adjust. Pwede 5 classes, pwede 6, 7, 8, as long as ma-differentiate mo ang different classes. Or pwede mo i-change ang symbology. No? Instead of black ang pinakahabog, pwede mo i-invert. And then again, do equal interval. 9, classify, apply. So, mo na yung change niya. Mas nindot siya tanawon kung i-reverse. So, ano na lang. You invert your selection, then classify. The lowest portion is the darker areas, and highest portion will be the lighter areas. Okay, okay siya na. Then for the Mindanao and PSA, we can change the color. So may nindot. Pila mo yung mga nani color be. Okay, ano. Then, dili man makita atong hillshade. What are we going to do na makita atong hillshade? Nasa sa likod. So we will adjust the transparency of our DEM. So double click and then another tab yung transparency. We can adjust it into say 40%. Click apply and check if you change. Okay, you change here. Click OK. Okay na siya. Lights na. So once our symbologies or the different vectors and raster files are ready, we can now proceed to layouting of the map. The print composer. We have new print composer. Then any initials, whatever. Click OK, and it will open a new dialog, a new window. On the composition, pinapunta sa custom yapon. And then let's put 200 and 200 mm para square. Okay. Full extent. So it's ready already. We can add our map. Add new map. Then drag. Make sure na ano siya ka na pares-pares po yung margins. Berapa? 4. Okay. 4. Na yung mga guides dito sa baba, no? Matang mo. And this one is 4. 4 ba? Okay. Taas. Choose na ito. Siguro. Elected ay. Pababa naman. Okay. And then click refresh. So our map is not on the center. So ato siyang i-move. No? May move item content. So i-drag na to siya pa center. And then on the item properties, okay, click the map and then its item properties. We can adjust the scale of the map. This is 438,000. We wanted the map to go bigger, no? To appear bigger. So ato ni siyang pagamian. The lower the scale, the bigger will be your map. So let's try 200,000. Okay, nanda ko siya. So I think okay na yung 200,000. And then center your map. We adjust the shape because we are going to add some details later. Then on the map 0 item properties, dungagan mo siya mga details. 200,000. Okay. Siya lock muna ang lock layers. And delete siya ma-change, and then we're going to add the grids. Add a grid 1, solid or markers, and the map unit. Let's try 0.5 interval, and then another 0.5 interval. And the grid frame, nagtangan natin siya on interior ticks. Susunod na tumutang ang mga ticks or tick marks. Interior ticks, so na siya yung mga tick marks na nagawas. Okay, then draw coordinates. Let's put decimal with suffix. Usually, we increase the decimal into 6 decimal places. So, tanaw na to siya. Lagi ang distansya, no? So, we have to adjust the interval. Instead na 0.5, lagay natin na 0.25. 0.25. Wala. Tama siya. Was or 0.2. Okay. Look with 0.1. Mas daghan. The more than the minier. Okay. Okay na siya. No, it's balance. So, mas tunga agad. Atin na ito na put i-balance po ang mapa. Then, ato na siyang i-set up ang mga tawagin niya, coordinates. On the left, instead of horizontal, vertical ascending. And on the right, the same, not the same day. This is vertical descending. So that it faces on our map. As the bottom, okay, let's try horizontal, vertical ascending, and the same. So let's try horizontal. Then natin mga mga dots. These are the markers. So we change na to ang marker into a plus. Simple marker. Meaning ito gamiton the plus. And then the size will be 1.80. Okay, and then simple marker, 1.8 ang size. And okay. We can put markers there para when somebody uses our map and wanted to digitize, pwede mo na magamit. Our printed map can be digitized into an input file by simply looking this one, kinematic marks for georeferencing. Gamitin for georeferencing na yun. So what details we're going to add now? So let's add the north arrow. In the layout, you add an image. You drag here, and then it's a picture. Click here the picture, and then click search directories. Wait until it's loaded. Okay, it's loaded already. So you can select whatever north arrow you desire. Shakini. This one. Okay. Lang para simple. Sa ako lang na. You can change whatever you desire. Sa ako amo ni akong gamiton for the meantime. Okay. We have our north arrow. Ay, butang na ito di kwanday. Ang map. Butang na ito siya og frame. Map frame. Drew a map frame. And then, ang siya frame. Then on the background, naman to. You drew background and instead of white, we select the blue to signify that this is a water body. So gamiton na to ng blue nga color grid usually to to signify that this part is a water body. Kini dagat man siya. No, this is the exit from Masaw, sa bato dapit basta this is ang Butuan Bay ni siya dapit diri. Okay, we can lock the layer para dili siya ma-outro. Lock the layer. Then we add the scale bar. Scale bar, walang tadili hindi na siguro. Ay, dako kayo. So on your scale bar, pwede nimo siya tutruhon. No? For my scale bar, akong gamiton is instead of this one, kini ticks up. Line ticks up. Mo na akong gamiton. And then, ang iyang height is may gamayan. And then, ang galon na ako is 0 ang left side segment. 0. And then, instead of 2,500 units, muna na siya 2,000 units. And then, increase na po ang right segments into 5. So, meron siyang 10 kilometers. And then, place this one somewhere in here. Okay ba? Dali or somewhere na dili kay siya eyesore. Pwede na. Next thing we have to do is add the legends. Layout, then add legend. Here, drag. So let's clean the legend. So atong legend, click this one. You double click kung sa imuhang kini this is the Butuan barangay boundary. Okay. And then this DEM, i-change na to ang iyang name into double click lang niya, and then this is the elevation. And then kini siya ito ni-delete na. Ay, di pa daya. Ito siya na auto-update. Tanggalan ng auto-update para dili siya mo-update dito. Uncheck auto-update and then edit. And then kini siya ipang-remove na ito. Kini siya, nakabutang man sa baba, nasagol rin ito na i-transfer sa taas. Okay. Mindanao. Okay. Kini di siya makita, no? Because our boundary here is one man. White background. To remove ang remove na to ang background. So medyo na siya gamay, hindi lang kayo maklaro. Pwede po i-change na to here on our QGIS ang iyang symbology, that instead of kini, we select black, apply, okay, then go back to our shape file. Kanina gilock man ito natin, no? I-unlock na to ang iyang style. Lock layers for the style. So unlock and then click refresh. Okay. So makita na nimo na siya yung may kuan. Okay, then lock again. So that's it. Diri lang na side medyo kuan tumutron ang scale bar. Change na to ang iyang font, siguro font. Font. The font is instead of 12, gawin natin 10. Okay, mamay lang. And then, lagyan ng background. Pangit ang background. Hindi na ito ibutang sa ubos. Sa ito nga. Indication nakatabon. Okay, ano na, okay na siya. Come on. Let's put mga kuan. Dyan. Siguro. And then let's put the labels on the municipalities. So Mindanao, you double click. Then on the labels, butang na to siya, show labels for this layer, and then ang iyang name is admin 3 surname. The entry and click apply. Check. Okay. Then the text we increase it into 10. 10. Apply. Okay. So now na to again nakalock man to siya. Unlock. Refresh. Okay. Hindi na makita ang kuan. Lukban City. So let's put buffer. Buffer. Text buffer. Apply. Okay. And going back to our layout. Refresh. Mas nibes. Ito tampunan na po. Kung siyang i-adjust ang legend. Muna na mag-adjust ita. Ang legend, the scale bar. Position and size. The height is 10. Ano itong distance nila? Width, reference, rotation, auto, numbering, background, display. On the display, level margins. And then, makita na siya. So let us adjust this one. Pababa. Then, okay. So, ano siya nakabunan. City of Cuelva, etc. Okay. Okay na siya. Let's put the title. So, ang title na yun, ang tag na to is the elevation map of Butuan City. And label, elevation map of Butuan City. Ang sa taas. Yung legend at pababa na may. Then, umutang natin yung title. 3 ASCII lead. Then, change the fonts. The font will be, dako na nga ito siya, 24. Try. City. Okay, center. Okay. Okay, pwede na. Elevation map, Butuan City. Legend, barangay boundary. Then, this is the Mindanao. This is not Mindanao, dapat provincial boundary. Ito na turuan, legend. Municipal boundary. Municipal / city boundary. Okay. Elevation. Elevation, ito siya elevation class. Okay. Elevation class. And then, okay, pwede na siya. So after elevation class, I think the map is now ready. Butan na mong pangalan. So, pangalan na yun, sa mga ibutang, your initials. Ito na, dali, layout, add label. Dali. RT. Sarmiento. Okay. And then you can save your map as a JPEG file. So here, they export as image. Click that one, then save your work into sa folder, outputs folder. Then exercise 4_Sarmiento. Click OK. And then change this one into 500 dpi, that per inch. Okay, you save. And wait until mahuman siya og save. Medyo delay gamay because it's 500 dpi. But once it's saved, it will tell you yung okay na. Okay naman siguro ni kaya wala naman process. So check your work. Okay, on the outputs folder, nanaloy ang JPEG file nga, Excel file, open and check if okay ang imong trabaho. Kung hindi ganahan, you can repeat the process. No? But if you're satisfied, you can submit this sa atong LMS. Okay, that's it. Kana lang. This is just a simple demonstration of raster manipulation. No? Manipulation pa na siya because we are not yet doing analysis. No? If you are into advanced GIS, analysis will be a different thing. No? So sa analysis, magkuha na tao mga distance from one point to another, and then finding suitable areas for plantation purposes, etc. So muna siya ang analysis. But in this context, ano lang, manipulation of raster data. No? Okay, that's all I think. Okay na. This will be posted in our LMS, and the deadline for exercise 3 will be announced later. And kini siya, since i-post na to ni karon, the deadline will be 1 week. Next week na siya. Today is Wednesday, so deadline will be next week, Wednesday. I think that's all. If you have questions, again, you can chat, you can message through our group chat. Kung dili na ako ma-address, you can PM me. But again, a reminder, do not PM if it's beyond 9 o'clock in the evening. Okay? Kuan na siya. So, kay mo tayo akong cellphone. Sige ka pasabaan sa akuan. Commander, kay bala ako no kayo. Kinsa ko na mag-sig chat. Gabi na kaayo. Okay, ano na? So, when I have questions, then I think that's the end of our lecture for today, and hoping that masubmitin niyo on time next week. For your other exercises, wala pa na ako na-check kayo, no? Okay, na medyo busy pa, but I will find time to check it isa-isa, maybe next week when we have our academic break. Okay, thank you again. That's all for today, and good morning. Stop sharing and stop recording.